Hey everyone, welcome back to 1 Cent Sports Cards YouTube channel. Today's an exciting day for the collecting community as 2020 Topps Heritage was released today. So I figured with the fanfare, what I would do is an in-depth set review and definitive guide, often imitated, never duplicated. So at the end of this, what we will end up with is a sensational set ranking. This will rank 2020 Topps Heritage against other sets that have been released in 2020, and it will rank it historically versus itself. 2020 Topps Heritage. So here's what we're going to cover. This goes way beyond the stuff in Beckett that you could read off of those sites or on Cardboard Connection or Sports Collectors Daily. It goes way beyond that. I'm really trying to give you guys stuff that isn't just regurgitated stuff that you could find anywhere. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover some quick set highlights. We'll cover kind of what the buying formats that you can buy this in, and we'll break it down by cost per card and all of that. I'll pull out some of the key cards and that you could be getting out of this set that I think will hold value over time, or ones that'll kind of become the cornerstones of the set later on down the line. We're going to cover who should be collecting this and who shouldn't be collecting this. And we're going to cover inserts, autos, relics, things like that. We'll go over what the positives of the set are, what the negatives of the set are, and that will bring us to our sensational set ranking. So you guys, first of all, if you like this idea, throw over to first, hit that like button, let me know that you like it, comment below, let me know what you think about these reviews, and without further ado, let's get started on my official definitive review of 2020 Topps Heritage. So first of all, we've got our set highlights. It's designed after the 1971 Topps set, guys. That is the infamous black border cards. There is a 500 card base set checklist. Cards number 401 through 500 are short print cards, and those can be found in one of 3 packs. Then when we look at our rookie cards, which are the ever important cards to pull, you've got 28 base rookie cards. Now here's what's interesting. There are 2 to 3 rookies on each card, and for the most part they're on the same team, except for one of the most important cards in the set, which has Aristides Aquino and Jordan Alvarez on the same card. Those are 2 of the biggest rookies going in 2020, and they are on the same card. And then other things with the highlights, they are offering parallels, they are offering short prints, and there are variations. There's white border short prints, flip stock, which all flip stock means is the printing is done backwards. So if it's normally glossy on the front, it's going to be glossy on the back, and the cardboard field or feel will be on the front of the card. So it's just the stock of the paper is actually flipped. There's the action image variations, which are really cool, really popular historically in the set. And new for this year, you've got the silver team name. Now, everything I just mentioned is hobby only. So one of the reasons to be looking at the hobby format this year. Then there's the ever popular throwback uniform. These cards hold a ton of value over time. They are very limited. You would think of them as like an SSP card. And then they are bringing back the base mini cards this year, which are going to be numbered to 100. Those are also hobby only. And like all Topps Heritage in the past, there are chrome parallels. So you're going to have refractors, white borders. So you've got the base, and then there are parallels to all of that. White border, gold border. And I think, even though it's not listed on here, I was looking at eBay, and I do think there's purple parallels as well. So be on the lookout for those. So then the question becomes, okay, where do I buy it, Mr. 1 Cent? Well, there's a couple different ways you can buy this set. It is a hobby box. They're not offering jumbo boxes or HTA boxes or anything like that. But what you can get is a hobby box, and that'll be at your local card shop, or you could probably find these online. It's going to be 24 packs, 9 cards per pack. So that's 216 cards, but it also comes with a box loader, and it will retail for somewhere around $98. So we'll call it $100. Now the cost per card on that, if you break it all down, is 45 cents, which is a little high for Heritage. However, keep in mind that there are a ton of hobby exclusive parallels that you will only find in the hobby packs. But if you don't have a local card shop or if you don't have about $100 to spend, you can always go the retail route. Retail, you've got hanger boxes, which are going to be about $11. It's going to give you 35 cards. Your cost per card on that is going to be about 31 cents per card. Not a bad cost per card. They're also going to have blaster boxes, which will have 72 cards. Then they will retail for around $20. The cost per card on that is going to be 28 cents. That's going to be your lowest cost per card. So if you can pull some cool stuff out of there, keep in mind that's your lowest cost per card. Then, although it won't be released today, I think it's going to hit shelves here in a couple weeks. You've got the Topps Heritage Value Box, which is going to have 138 cards. It's going to be $40. It is 29 cents per card. But the one thing that is offering is 3 chrome parallels are going to be guaranteed. And here's what's interesting about that. There are some chrome parallels in that set that you can only find in that set. So if you want to complete the chrome parallel or the chrome card checklist, you will have to buy into the value box. So some of those chrome cards that are exclusive to the value box are going to hold some really good value. So an interesting little product that Topps put out there. So those are the ways that you can buy into this stuff. So I went through, looked at the checklist, did some of the work for you. Here's some of the key cards that I think in the base, this doesn't include relics, autographs, all that, but some of the base cards that I think that will be popular and have the potential to hold some value over time and to be some cool cards to collect. First of all, we'll start with the base stuff. We've got Anthony Kane, Bo Bichette. It's the card you see on the right there. Bo Bichette, obviously a very popular rookie. We mentioned this one earlier, but the Aristides Aquino and Jordan Alvarez rookie card, that's going to be a very popular one. Also a fun one to do a break with, because that means if you're in a random team break, the question becomes, okay, who gets it? Is it the Reds or is it the Astros? As we continue along, one that's going to fly under the radar a little bit, but Domingo Leyba and Josh Rojas, that is a rookie card first in Topps Heritage. Then, as we look a little further, we've got the Nico Horner and Adbert Alzolay. That's the Cubs card. Nico, very popular, but Adbert, very good prospect card that should be playing this year. And right along those lines, you've got Gavin Lux and Dustin May for the Dodgers. Nice rookie card there. And then the A's have a nice rookie card. Jesus Luzardo, Seth Brown, AJ Puck. All very good prospects that if they start catching fire, that card could catch fire just as quickly. And you've got another rookie card first, TJ Zuch and Jordan Romano. And then as we look at the parallels, autos, short prints, and relics, these are going to be the cards that if you pull some of these, they're going to hold a ton of value over time. These are going to be the prized possessions of Topps Heritage this year. First of all, the silver team name short prints. Those are new this year. They've done a lot of stuff with team names in the past. However, this is the first year with the silver team name short prints. And per the usual, the vintage uniform short prints, which, as I mentioned earlier, like a super short print type thing, those cards historically hold a ton of value over time. And as has happened in the past, the real one autographs, the red ink autos are going to be numbered to 71 this year, guys. So those will be really low numbered, kind of parallel autos, if you will. Going to hold a ton of value there. And of course, the chrome cards, when you pull parallels of those always are fun cards. They always hold value. So keep a lookout for those. And finally, the Clubhouse Collection Quad Relics. Those are really low numbered relic cards. So if you're into relics, those are going to be the ones that you were looking for. So as we move along here, the question becomes, with all that knowledge, who should be collecting Topps Heritage? First of all, collectors on a limited budget. This is an easy and very approachable set. You don't need a ton of money to get a few of the cards. You don't need a ton of money to buy a few packs and a few maybe hanger boxes and whatnot. If you do find fat packs, I would recommend to stay away from them. They get injured and surge too much. So I would start at the hanger level and move up from there. But hey, look, at the end of the day, it's a retail it's got retail, so it's got a budget friendly buying option, so you're good to go there. Nostalgia collectors, the 1971 design, really cool design, a little notorious within the collecting community because of the black borders, but it is a beautiful design. And if the reason Heritage exists is because of the nostalgia, so if you're a nostalgia collector, this is definitely a set for you. The other thing, big old checklist for set builders to work with. So a fun set to build if you're a set collector. Plus it's challenging because 401 through 500 are short print cards. So that would be 100 short print cards to build out as well to get the complete set. Rookie collectors, you've got a nice rookie checklist this year, and there's even a few rookie card firsts. So as you take a look at these rookies, if you like the dual, especially if you like the dual rookie cards, those are going to be nice ones. And then obviously with the big checklist, if you're a PC collector, this is a set that you are definitely going to find one of your PCs in. So you'll have to take a look at this set. One of Topps' most popular sets. So if you collect a Mike Trout, no matter who it is, if they're a current star or a rookie, they're probably going to be in this set. And then finally, I would say novice collectors. Like I said, this is an approachable set. It's a nice alternative to the Topps flagship product without becoming really expensive. And so if you're someone that's kind of novice and just getting back into the hobby, this is a very popular set throughout the year. It's easy to find the stuff. You can find it in retail. You can find it at hobby. It'll be readily available. And it's a fun set to collect. So those would be the people that I would recommend collecting this. So then the question becomes, who shouldn't be collecting this? First and foremost, PSA collectors. If you're collecting cards out of this for PSA, it's going to be really hard to get tough grades. If you can get a 10, it will hold a premium. You will probably get a low population. However, spending the money to send your card in to try and get a 10 when it comes back as an 8 or a 9 will be disappointing. So it's a little bit of a gamble, especially with the black borders on this stuff. If you're a PSA collector, probably some better sets that are going to be coming out throughout the year, and you're probably still submitting your Series 1 cards anyway. So this is maybe one of those sets that you steer clear from a little bit. High-end collectors, look, at the end of the day, we're not going to make any bones about it. This is an entry-level set or a broad appeal of collectors. So if you're someone that is looking for a bunch of autos, a bunch of low numbered cards, there's better places where you could spend your money on that. Speaking of that, auto collectors, look, there is an extensive auto collection, and it's actually our checklist, and it's actually a neat auto checklist. There's some good autos in this stuff, but it is a rare set that is offered from Topps these days that does not offer a guaranteed auto in any buying format, including hobby. The hobby boxes are not guaranteeing autos. They are guaranteeing a relic or an auto. So that is something that when you think about cost per auto, auto collectors, I think, can probably spend their money elsewhere. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing, the parallel collectors. Here's what's interesting. So there are limited parallel runs on this, and they're all like really low number. So if you're someone that can spend the money on 225 or a 25 or the 1 of 1, sure, there's going to be some great cards in here. But if you're someone that likes the one that's numbered to 199, basically the only place that you're going to find stuff like that is in the chrome ones. So if you're and there's just not a lot, there's not a rainbow. If you're a parallel collector, you probably want to be looking at a different set, something like Bowman, something like that. And then finally, prospect collectors. There are no prospects in this set. It's Major League Baseball players, not minor league players. So if you collect prospects, steer clear of this set. So we'll burn through some of the highlights of what the inserts and the relics and stuff have. First of all, what you have, which I think is one of the neater things in the Heritage inserts this year, is a Willie Mays highlights subset, which highlights his 20 seasons in the major leagues. And what's cool about that is there are going to be some limited buyback cards, which will be really cool and stamped. Obviously not autoed, but really cool that they're doing some buybacks out of that subset. And then, of course, because we're celebrating 1971 with this set, you've got a bunch of 1971 ode cards and inserts. So one of the coolest ones out of this series of 1971s is the tattoos. The tattoos, actually, I didn't list it on here, but I think they're retail only. And they are actual baseball card tattoos that you can pull out of the retail formats. You've got box loaders, which is the Topps Greatest Moments box loaders. The Topps Originals, really cool stamp buybacks of original 1971 cards inserted as box toppers. You're going to find that in hobby only. Again, that's another reason why that cost per card on hobby is a little bit higher. You're going to find some really cool cards in hobby. The scratch offs are back. The super box loaders are there. There is a 2020 Topps MLB sticker collection preview card, baseball flashbacks, the French cards, the minis are back, which is really cool. The New Age performers, the news flashbacks, which gives you flashbacks to news that was happening back in 1971. That subset is coming back, and then the ever popular Then and Now set is back. So, the ever popular autographs. Here's what we got for autographs this year. Ones that most people will never pull. However, there are cut signature autographs in here. In fact, there's 19 in total. There's the baseball cut signatures and the celebrity cut signatures. Probably not going to pull any of those, but if you did, they would be worth a lot of money, and it would be probably one of the highlights of your collecting life. Then there are Super Baseball box loaders that are autographed, and they are numbered to 25. There's only 5 of those, so those are going to be really hard to pull as well. And then with the relics, they do have autographed relics. Again, you can look at the numbers that are on the screen. They are really low numbered to 25 or to 10, and there's not a lot of them. However, they do have patch parallels that are numbered 1 to 1. Then there is the flashback autograph relics, kind of the same thing, numbered to 25 with the patch parallel. And then where you're going to find most of your autos in the set, it's going to be the Real One autographs. There's a 63 card checklist, and the ones that you're really going to be looking for are the red ink parallel that are going to be numbered to 71. They look like the Pete Alonso card that is on your right. The signature will be in red ink. And then there are dual autograph and triple autograph cards, which are really short numbered. And finally, you've got what I think is a really neat little subset of autographs here. You've got the Senators' final season autographs, which features players from the Washington Senators' final season, which happened in 1971. So you've got 9 players on there. All of them are going to be numbered 100 or less. So that's kind of a cool little autograph that you can get out of this set. And then as we cover off on relics, here's what we've got. It's back again. You've got the 1971 mint checklist, which features coins minted from 1971. You've got the U.S. postage stamps from 1971, also numbered to 50. And then where you will find most of your relics, you're going to have the Clubhouse Collection relics. You can see what an autographed one looks like right here. But there is a 66 card set of relics, and there are parallels to gold and patch. Again, not a ton of parallels on this stuff, and the ones that you do get are really low numbered. And then you've got the Clubhouse Collection dual relic, triple relic, and the quad relic, and then there's patch parallels all numbered 1 on that stuff. So as we take a look at all of that, what's the takeaway from all this? What are the positives of this set? First of all, you've got a beautiful vintage 1971 design. Second of all, you've got most of the key rookies that you're looking for in 2020. Some rookies we're going to get later on in the year that aren't in this set. However, people that are going to be starting on opening day that are rookies, and some of them that kind of started last year. Look, Jordan Alvarez, Gavin Lux, Aristides Aquino, you name them. They are all in here, and we've got a few new rookies in here. Number 3, overall, this is an inexpensive entry-level set, which means you've got a relatively low cost per card in all formats. And then as we look at the inserts, which we just did, some of those are really fun. The tattoos, I think, are really cool. even with the relics, with the mint coins. Now some of the stuff ends up not being worth a ton later on, but they are really cool cards to have in a collection. And then the other thing is, if you are into hobby formats, which I am a little bit more than retail formats, there is a ton of hobby only exclusives. I think hobby being priced a little bit at a premium this year is actually going to be worthwhile. I think where you're going to find a lot of the quote unquote fire is going to be out of those hobby boxes. And then, as always, you've got Chrome cards, which in the retail format is going to be the big draw on this stuff. Everyone loves shiny things, and the Chrome cards historically are really popular with Heritage. So, on the flip side of that, you've got the negatives. First negative is going to be the black border, although it is a beautiful card, going to be really tough to get graded and really tough to keep in a clean condition. One of the big, I shouldn't say big drawbacks, but one of the drawbacks I think is the parallels seem really limited to me, especially in the retail format. And the parallels that are available are really low numbered, so I think they're going to be scarce in the Chrome parallel in the Chrome world. I think you'll be a little bit better off. I think that's where retail is going to outpace hobby a little bit, but the parallels, if you're looking for a rainbow, there's just better sets to buy into. And then the other thing is, historically, Heritage does not hold the same value that, say, the Topps flagship product does, or even like Topps Chrome. It's kind of more in line with, say, Allen and Ginter and maybe even Stadium Club, although I hate to do that to Stadium Club. But historically, it holds a little less value than the flagship product. One of my big things this year is the base set checklist lacks key star names. Most of your established stars and veterans are in the short print checklist. That even includes like Vladimir Guerrero, Fernando Tatis. That includes some players that I just think that, like, hey, I get you've got all the rookie cards in the base set, but there's a lot of cards where I think they could have put some of the stars, especially some of the second year stars, into the base set checklist rather than making them a short print. Some people are going to like that those people are only short print, but I do think that the base set checklist lacks a little bit because it doesn't have some of those key stars. And then the other thing, which there's no getting around this, but production is going to be high because it is a retail and a hobby release. You can't sell in a big box store and not have a high production run. So it's just kind of comes with the nature of being an entry-level wide appeal set. And then finally, the card stock on Heritage, although it's not bad, I just think it's lower quality than a lot of other cards that come out these days. You've got kind of that, if you like that vintage nostalgic cardboardy feel, you will like these cards. They will flip like wax did in the 80s and 90s. But overall, I think with how far printing has come since then, I get they're going after the vintage feel, but in my opinion, it's a little bit of a lower quality. And I do think that they could do something to improve the paper stock in the future. So that gets us, guys, to our 1 cent sensational set rating. Now, this is a rating that is going to take 5 or 10 different categories, and we will rank each of these categories on a scale of 1 to 10, which will do that, and then we will talk about how we transform all of those rankings into a 1 to 5 star rating. So here is how I rate 2020 Topps Heritage. First of all, the appeal. I'm going to give it a 7. This has mass appeal. People like Heritage. It is one of Topps's most popular products of the year. They have a bunch of different releases, and Heritage is got a ton of appeal to it. But I also think that there is a certain set of collectors out there that will steer clear of this. That's going to be your high-end guys. And then this year, because of the black borders, I think there's going to be a little bit of a less appeal for people that like grading cards and stuff like that. Looking at the checklist, I would have rated this checklist higher. I'm still going to give it a 7 because anytime you've got 500 cards in a checklist, that's really fun. You can get almost every player you want in a 500 card checklist. However, The fact that a lot of the players you might want are actually sitting in the high number short print means they might be a little bit harder to come by, which if you're a kid or someone that doesn't have a bunch of money and someone that doesn't spend a ton of money in the hobby, it's going to be kind of hard to find some of those star players that maybe you just want to collect your team set or something like that. The inserts this year, I'm going to give them a 7. I think they're pretty innovative. I think Topps has really this year focused on their inserts being something that people really want to collect. So we'll give that a 7 as well. The parallels and variations, I'm going to rank this pretty low. I'm ranking it a 3. I just don't think there's a ton of parallels in this, and I think the ones that they do have are numbered pretty low. So I think they're going to be kind of hard to pull. I think you're going to see a lot of chrome stuff out of retail, which is fine. But I just think that there's some work that Topps could be doing here. The auto checklist, not terrible. Some fun stuff in there. There's even like Joe Torre autos in this. So if you want to check the checklist, you can go over to Bowman or to Topps's website. But I also am going to take away from the auto checklist a little bit, and the fact that they did not actually guarantee any autos in any of the buying formats. So if you're chasing autos, it's just going to be a hard thing to chase because you don't know what's going to be coming out of boxes. Pack odds production on this is going to be high, guys, which means the pack odds are going to be a little bit long. I gave it a 4. Card quality, I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I think, yes, you've got the vintage feel, but 2, I also think just because it's a vintage set doesn't mean you can't print it on a little bit of a nicer card stock. Historical value, going to give this a 3. Look, at the end of the day, it is an entry-level set. Historically, it's not going to hold the same value as, say, the flagship set, but there is a certain collector out there that loves the nostalgic feel on this. So it's not that it doesn't hold value at all. Some of those short print and those like the vintage uniform and throwback uniform short print variations, some of those go for thousands of dollars historically. So there's some value there, but overall, it does not hold some of the value that, say, like a Bowman set would. On the flip side of that, the artistic value of this set is through the roof. I'm giving it a 9. Everything from the Willie Mays set to the idea that they are using minted coins and stamps and tattoos. The design of the 1971 is just amazing. Artistic value, we give that a 9. And then I do think that cost value, I would have been a little bit higher on this had they said that for $100 you get a guaranteed auto and hobby, but they didn't do that. But I do think the retail format, very approachable, and I think you could pull some cool cards out of there. So cost value, you're going to be at 7. So where does that land us with our final set rating? 1. Here is how the rating works. You've got, if it's 0 to 25, you get 1 star, which means you want to steer clear of this set. And then if this set ends up scoring between 86 and 100, you will be at 5 stars, as in it is one of the best sets ever. Anything I would say over 2, 3, 4 stars, acceptable sets to kind of buy into and take a look at, depending on what type of collector you are. So here is how 2020 Topps Heritage came out at the end on the Sensational Set Rating. We gave it a 57, which solidly places it as a 3-star product. Depending on who you are, this could be a very attractive product for you. If you are someone that likes set building, if you're someone that likes the nostalgic look of cards, if you're someone that likes building team sets, all of these things make this set really, really attractive to you. However, if you're someone that likes getting cards to where you can turn around and grade them, if you are someone that likes collecting autos and getting a low cost per card on autos, this is a set you might want to steer clear of or be kind of weary of. So you guys, this one is in the books for 2020 Topps Heritage. Again, if you didn't do it before, throw over to first, hit that like button, comment below, let me know what you think about 2020 Topps Heritage. Let me know what you think about the 1 cent Sensational Set Rating system. And with that, guys, I hope you have a fantastic time opening up the new 2020 Topps Heritage set. I wish you good luck in your pack rips. And with that, have a good day. We'll talk to you next time.